Hello, I'm a single mom who likes to travel, especially by camper van or train. Today I'd like to share our road trip through and to Denmark. If you're interested, stay tuned. We start out in Berlin, stay for one night near Bad Segeberg, famous for its annual Karl May festival. We continue on over the Danish border to stay 2 nights on a local farm and mini campsite at Skerrebæk, continue on to visit the Ribe Viking Center and Billund Legoland. After that we stay 2 nights on the peninsula at the Helnæs Camping site, from which we continue on with our journey via the 3.8 million expensive Storebaelt Bridge to get to Copenhagen to visit Tivoli and the Blue Planet, Northern Europe's largest aquarium. After that we make our way back in direction of Berlin via the ferry from Getzer to Rostock and stay one night on a small farm in Bad Hagen near Outtro. After that we travel back to Berlin. In this episode, come with us to visit Billund Legoland, spend a relaxing time on Helnaes Camping on the beautiful Helnæs Peninsula, cross the world's third longest suspension bridge, the Storebaelt Bridge, and check into the fantastic Tivoli Hotel in Copenhagen. We woke up to a rainy morning and said goodbye to the mini campsite, going in direction of Billund Legoland, 81 kilometers, which is a 1 hour 20-minute drive approximately. There's a large parking lot, but I couldn't figure out how to get to the campervan section, so we went on the regular parking lot. It was still a bit rainy, which was somewhat our luck because it wasn't so crowded yet. Our first visit was to a spooky castle, which was neatly set up in a children-friendly way. We went on to a pirate splash experience where you could play against each other and also treat people passing by with a bit of water munition, as we also got to enjoy. Without really following a plan, we visited a knight's castle where the waiting area was made a bit more entertaining by Lego castle scenes. After that we stumbled into the movie world section to a ride called Emmett's Flying Adventure, which was a projector-based ride with our seats moving and our feet dangling. We had to take off our shoes. I found it the most fun, and I can't imagine what the waiting time must be when it's good weather. Next we went to a firefighting action game where we really got to exhaust ourselves, and after that we got us some fries across for lunch. Then we slowly started making our way back to the park entrance, but before leaving we stopped by Miniland to enjoy the scenes, as also the weather had gotten better. Before leaving the amusement park, we stopped by the Lego shop, where my daughter opted for a lit wand that could make bubbles. We said goodbye to Legoland and headed for 2 nights on the Helnæs Peninsula at the Helnaes Camping site. It's a really beautiful peninsula with a nice road along to watch and enjoy. I had looked for somewhere to wind down and not so touristy, and this was a success. I had booked well in advance and the price was very good. We arrived just in time before the 6 p.m. Feierabend, checked in and parked in our lovely spot next to the playground, and then quickly went to check out the waterside. It wasn't exactly a sandy beach, but it was very beautiful and certainly very peaceful, which is a very good change for our city life. Helnæs Peninsula was first mentioned in 1231 as Helnæs, if I pronounce that correctly, and means holy headland. It's been inhabited since the Stone Age. It is said to have a small but active community of artists, craftspeople and local initiative, which I can imagine very well since its landscape is quite inspiring. The Helnaes campsite is very well equipped. By the reception there's also a small shop. There is a nice sized parking spot across from it. You can wash and dry your clothes for altogether €6.50. The toilets and showers are clean and there is a nice sized kitchen to use for everybody. The playground is huge and there is a mini golf course. We even got to join a Carbe Friends party, which coincidentally took place, and we were warmly invited by the Danish people there. We had a good spot where there's a fresh water tap close to us, and surprisingly, in spite of the high season, there weren't so many campers next to us. There were mostly Danish people, and the ones that weren't were parked more close to the beach, which you can reach through a small but hidden gate. Somebody down the road was selling potatoes via an honesty box stand, which I found very charming. More by the beach there's a small parking lot with a toilet and facilities to leave your trash. The beach is small, you can almost say it's cozy, but it does have enough space to share it with other visitors. I guess it's not so crowded since it's not so sandy. I found myself a bit of luck, and as our time at Helnaes Camping was coming to an end, it was time to continue our journey on to Copenhagen to check in at the Tivoli Hotel. But first we had to cross the 18-kilometer long Storebaelt Bridge, which cost us somewhere around €34. It was spontaneous payment. I'm not sure if paying upfront would be a bit more cheap, which I can imagine. We easily found the hotel, which does have its own parking, but it's not suitable for camper vans due to our height. The staff at the hotel was also trying to be helpful finding a spot, but the area that they sent us to was not allowed for public parking during the week, so my recommendation is to park the camper van in the street around the corner from the hotel, where you also can pay via online. Also, I would recommend you install the Epcoa parking app, which seems to be the most common one of the many apps that are offered in Copenhagen. The hotel is quite spacious in the entrance area. There is even an ice cream truck and a dedicated children's play area with a jumping castle and other much fun things to offer. Overall, it seemed very child-friendly. We had gotten a small bag with a coloring book and pencils, and for breakfast there was a children's section of the buffet, which I will show later. There is a pool in the basement and there is a sky bar which also offers amazing views. Our room was on the 3rd floor and we even had a balcony. Overall, it made a very stylish impression. Only the complimentary coffee was not my taste. Let's leave it at that. The hotel, of course, had a map of the Tivoli amusement park. In the next video, we'll take you to Tivoli with us, enjoy breakfast at the hotel, show you around the hotel pool, make a failed attempt at visiting the Children's Museum, but successfully visit Europe's biggest aquarium called the Blue Planet, where I realized my next favorite animal after cats must be otters. They are so adorable. After that, we head back to Berlin. If you enjoyed watching, please like, share and subscribe. Hyping this video would just be amazing. See you next time.